The coffee was getting cold again. Hyun-Woo Kim stared at the cup on his workbench and sighed. He had been working for 16 hours straight, fixing the mining equipment that kept breaking down on Kepler Station. The outer rim was not kind to machines, and it was even less kind to the people who had to fix them. Hyun-Woo wiped his hands on his coveralls and looked out the small window of the engineering bay. Stars filled the darkness beyond, cold and distant. He had been on Kepler Station for 3 years now, ever since the accident back on Earth, ever since he lost everything that mattered to him. The station was quiet at this hour. Most of the crew was sleeping, preparing for another day of mining operations in the asteroid field. Hyun-Woo preferred the night shift. Fewer people meant fewer questions about why he never smiled anymore. A soft beeping sound came from his console. Hyun-Woo frowned and walked over to check the sensors. Something was moving out there in the asteroid field, something that was not supposed to be there. "Computer, show me Sector 7, he said. The screen lit up with a view of the mining area. At first, Hyun-Woo saw nothing unusual, just rocks and empty space. Then he spotted it. A small object was drifting between the asteroids, tumbling slowly end over end. Hyun-Woo leaned closer to the screen. The object was metallic, about the size of a small shuttle, but it was not human-made. The design was all wrong, with curves and patterns that looked almost organic. "Computer, scan the object," Hyun-Woo said. The scan results appeared on his screen. The object was made of materials he did not recognize. It was giving off a weak power signature, which meant it was still functioning. Most importantly, the scan detected a life form inside. Hyun-Woo's heart began to beat faster. In all his years in space, he had never encountered alien life. Nobody had. Humans had found empty worlds and dead civilizations, but never anything alive. He should call Commander Park. This was way above his pay grade, but something stopped him. The object was damaged, leaking atmosphere. Whatever was inside might not have much time left. Hyun-Woo made a decision that would change everything. He grabbed his toolkit and headed for the shuttle bay. 20 minutes later, Hyun-Woo was suited up and flying a maintenance pod through the asteroid field. The alien craft was even stranger up close. Its hull was covered in symbols that seemed to shift in the light, like they were alive. He attached a tow cable to the craft and carefully pulled it back to Kepler Station. The whole time, he wondered what he was going to find inside. The station's small cargo bay was barely big enough to hold the alien pod. Hyun-Woo ran every scan he could think of, checking for dangerous radiation or hostile organisms. Everything came back clean. The atmosphere inside the pod was breathable for humans, though it smelled different somehow. With shaking hands, Hyun-Woo found what looked like an opening mechanism. He pressed it gently, and the pod opened with a soft hiss. Inside was a child. Hyun-Woo stumbled backward in shock. The child was small, no bigger than a 10-year-old human, but its skin was pale blue and seemed to glow faintly in the dim light. Its eyes were large and golden, filled with fear and sadness. The child looked up at Hyun-Woo and said something in a language he did not understand. Then it tried again, speaking broken words in universal common. "Please," the child whispered. "Help me." Hyun-Woo knelt down beside the pod. Up close, he could see that the child was hurt. There were cuts on its arms and a large bruise on its forehead. Its clothes were torn and stained with something that might have been blood. "It's okay," Hyun-Woo said softly. "You're safe now. I'm going to help you." The child's golden eyes filled with tears. "They are gone," it said. "All gone. The dark ones came and made fire in the sky. Mother put me in the sleeping box. She said to be brave." Hyun-Woo felt his heart break. This child had lost everything, just like he had. "What's your name?" he asked. The child made a sound that Hyun-Woo could not pronounce. It sounded like wind chimes in a gentle breeze. I can't say that, Hyunwoo admitted. Can I call you Bomb? It means spring in my language, the child nodded. Bomb, it repeated, trying out the new name. You are kind. What is your name? I'm Hyunwoo. I work here, fixing things that break. Can you fix me? Bomb asked in a small voice. Before Hyunwoo could answer, the cargo bay door opened. Commander Ji-hee Park stood in the doorway, her face a mix of shock and concern. Behind her were Dr. So-young Choi and Security Chief Min-ho Kang. Hyunwoo, Commander Park said slowly, what have you done? I found a survivor, Hyunwoo replied, not moving away from Bomb. The pod was damaged. They needed help. Dr. Choi stepped forward, her medical scanner already in hand. This is incredible, she breathed. First contact with an alien species. We need to document everything. We need to secure the area, Chief Kang said, his hand moving to his weapon. We don't know if this is hostile. It's a child, Hyunwoo said firmly. Look at them. They're hurt and scared. Bomb pressed closer to Hyunwoo, clearly frightened by all the new faces. The child's blue skin grew even paler. Commander Park studied the situation carefully. She was a good leader, fair but cautious. Dr. Choi, can you treat the injuries? I think so, the doctor replied. The physiology seems similar enough to ours. Chief. Kang, I want this area secured but not threatening. This child has been through enough. As the adults talked, Bomb tugged on Hyunwoo's sleeve. When he looked down, the child was staring up at him with those large golden eyes. The Dark Ones hunt my people, Bomb whispered. They think we are dangerous. Will you send me away too? Hyunwoo felt something stir in his chest, an emotion he had not felt in years. No, he said. I won't let anyone hurt you. Promise? I promise. Bomb was quiet for a moment, then asked the question that would haunt Hyunwoo's dreams. I have no family now. The ceremony is tomorrow, and I will be alone. Could you be my dad just until tomorrow? The words hit Hyunwoo like a physical blow. This alien child, lost and afraid, was asking him to be a father. Him, who had failed his own daughter when she needed him most. But looking into Bomb's hopeful eyes, Hyunwoo could not say no. Yes, he whispered. Until tomorrow. Neither of them knew that tomorrow would bring danger beyond imagination, or that their bond would spark a war that would decide the fate of the galaxy. The medical bay was quiet, except for the soft humming of machines. Dr. So-young Choi carefully cleaned the cuts on Bomb's arms while the alien child sat very still on the examination table. Hyunwoo stood nearby, ready to comfort Bomb if needed. The healing is going well, Dr. Choi said, stepping back to examine her work. Your biology is similar to ours in many ways. The cuts should heal completely in a few days. Bomb nodded but did not speak. The child had been quiet since arriving at the medical bay, only answering direct questions with short words. Are you hungry? Hyunwoo asked gently. Bomb's golden eyes brightened slightly. Yes, but I do not know your food. Let's find something you can eat, Hyunwoo said. In the station's small cafeteria, Hyunwoo placed different foods on a tray: fruits, vegetables, grains, and proteins from various worlds. Bomb touched each item carefully before tasting it. The child liked the sweet fruits best, especially the blueberries from Kepler's hydroponics bay. Bomb ate slowly, savoring each bite like it was a gift. These taste like home, Bomb said softly. My people grew similar fruits on the great ships. Tell me about your people, Hyunwoo said, sitting across from the child. Bomb's expression grew sad. We are called Lumari. We lived on ships that traveled between stars, helping other worlds. Grow green things. My people could make dead ground live again. That sounds like important work. Mother said we were gardeners of the galaxy. We helped plants grow strong and made sick worlds healthy again. Bomb paused, touching the blue skin on their arm. We can feel the life in all living things. It speaks to us through our skin. Hyunwoo watched as Bom placed a hand on a small plant sitting on the cafeteria table. The plant's leaves seemed to perk up, growing brighter and healthier. Amazing, Hyunwoo breathed. You can heal plants just by touching them. Not just plants, Bom said. Machines too, if they are broken. Life and machines are not so different. Both need energy to work. As if to prove the point, Bom touched Hyunwoo's broken tablet computer. The screen flickered and came to life, working better than it had in months. How did you do that? Hyunwoo asked. I felt where the energy was. Stuck and helped it flow again, Bom explained. All Lumari can do this. It is why the Dark Ones hunt us. The Dark Ones? Bom's face filled with fear. They call themselves the Great Hunters. They came to our ships with weapons that burn everything. They said my people were dangerous, that we make other races weak with our gifts. How does helping things grow make others weak? Hyunwoo asked. The hunters believe only the strong should live. They think kindness and helping others is a sickness. They destroy anyone who thinks differently. Hyunwoo felt anger rise in his chest. The idea of killing an entire race for being too kind was horrible. You're safe here, he said firmly. I won't let them hurt you. Bom looked at him with those large golden eyes. You are kind like my people. But the hunters are very strong. They have many ships and terrible weapons. Before Hyunwoo could respond, Commander Park entered the cafeteria with Communications Officer Tae-min Lee. Hyunwoo, we need to talk, Commander Park said. Her face was serious. Tae-min looked nervous as he activated a small recording device. We've been monitoring deep space communications since Bom arrived. We picked up some transmissions that you need to hear. The recording started with static, then a harsh voice speaking in an alien language. Bom went very still, their blue skin turning pale. We have tracked the parasite's escape pod to the human mining station, the voice said in broken universal common. The Lumari disease will not spread further. Surrender the creature or face destruction. The recording ended. The cafeteria was silent except for Bom's quiet crying. They found me, Bom whispered. I brought danger to you. I am sorry. Hyunwoo moved closer to the child. You didn't bring danger. They did, and we're not going to give you to them. Commander Park crossed her arms. Hyunwoo, you don't understand what you're asking. These Dark Hunters have weapons that can destroy our entire station. We have mining lasers and basic shields. We're not a military base. So we just hand over a child to be murdered? Hyunwoo demanded. It's not that simple, Commander Park replied. I have 300 people on this station to think about. One child, Hyunwoo said. They want to kill one child because their people help plants grow. What does that say about us if we let it happen? Tae-min cleared his throat. There's more. I've been analyzing the transmissions. The Dark Hunters have been systematically destroying Lumari settlements across the galaxy. Bom might be one of the last survivors. Dr. Choi entered the cafeteria, carrying a data pad. I've finished my initial analysis of Bom's biology. What I found is remarkable. She sat down at the table and showed them her results. The Lumari don't just heal plants and machines. They can interface with technology in ways we never imagined. Bom's nervous system can directly connect with computer systems. What does that mean? Commander Park asked. It means they could help us upgrade our defenses, Dr. Choi explained. If Bom is willing to share their knowledge. All eyes turned to the alien child. Bom wiped away tears and looked at each of them in turn. My people believed in helping others, Bom said quietly. If I can help protect you, I will try. But I am still young. I do not know all the old knowledge yet. Tomorrow is your ceremony, isn't it? Hyunwoo asked, remembering Bom's earlier words. Bom nodded. When Lumari reach the age of choosing, we undergo the awakening. All the memories of our ancestors become available to us. We learn everything our people ever knew. And you'll be alone. For this, Dr. Choi asked gently. Traditionally, family guides young Lumari through the awakening. But I have no family now. Bom looked at Hyunwoo with hope and sadness mixed in their golden eyes. Unless, Hyunwoo understood, the child was not just asking for temporary comfort. Bom needed someone to be their family during the most important moment of their young life. I'll be there, Hyunwoo promised. We'll face tomorrow together. Commander Park stood up from the table. I need to call a station meeting. Everyone deserves to know what's coming and have a voice in what we do next. As the adults prepared to leave, Bom caught Hyunwoo's hand. Thank you for not sending me away, the child whispered. I told you I wouldn't, Hyunwoo replied, and I keep my promises. That night, Hyunwoo gave Bom his own quarters and took the couch. As he lay in the darkness, listening to the child's soft breathing, he thought about his own daughter. She had been about Bom's age when the accident happened. He had failed to protect her then, but maybe, just maybe, he could protect Bom now. Outside, the stars watched silently as Kepler Station prepared for the most important decision in its history. Tomorrow would bring the awakening, and with it, choices that would echo across the galaxy. The station assembly hall had never seen so many people at once. Every crew member was there, from the youngest maintenance worker to the oldest mining supervisor. Commander Park stood at the front, her face serious as she explained the situation. Stop. Alien ships will arrive within 12 hours, she said. They want us to hand over Bom. If we refuse, they will attack. Security Chief Minho Kang displayed tactical information on the main screen. We counted at least 15 warships approaching. Our defenses were built to stop pirates, not a full military fleet. Pilot Yoonji Nam raised her hand. What kind of weapons do they have? Unknown, Chief Kang replied. But they destroyed entire Lumari colony ships. We should assume they can destroy us easily. The hall filled with worried whispers. Many crew members had families back home. They had not signed up to fight an alien war. Dr. Choi stood up. Before we make any decisions, you should know what Bom can offer us. Their people have technology that could upgrade our systems beyond anything we have ever seen. She activated a holographic display showing Bom's scan results. The Lumari can interface directly with computers and machines. They can make our systems work better, faster, and more efficiently. That won't matter if we're all dead, said Mining. Supervisor Jae-sung-oh Hyun-woo had been sitting quietly in the back with Bom beside him. Now he stood up, and the hall grew silent. I want to tell you about my daughter, he said. His voice was steady but sad. Her name was Da-young. She was 10 years old when she got sick. I tried everything to save her. The best doctors, the newest medicines, experimental treatments. Nothing worked. The hall was completely quiet now. Even the ventilation system seemed to hold its breath. When she was dying, she asked me why bad things happen to good people. I didn't have an answer then. But I think I understand now. Hyunwoo looked around the room at all the faces watching him. Bad things happen because good people let them happen. Because it's easier to look away than to stand up and fight. He gestured to Bom, who was sitting small and scared in the big chair. This child's entire race is being murdered because someone decided they were too kind, too helpful, too good. If we hand Bom over, we become part of that evil. But what about our families? Called out engineer Dong Hyun Lim. What about our children back home? What kind of universe are we leaving for? Our children? Hyunwoo asked back. One where being kind gets you killed? Where helping others makes you a target? Is that the future we want? Commander Park let the debate continue for another hour. People argued, worried, and shared their fears. But slowly, something amazing happened. One by one, crew members began to stand up and declare their choice. Medical Officer Hai Won-jung was the first. I became a doctor to save lives, That includes alien lives. Pilot Nam stood next. I've got a fast ship. If things go badly, I can get some of us out. Chief Kang surprised everyone by standing third. I swore to protect this station and everyone on it. That includes Bomb now. By the end, only 5 people voted to surrender Bomb. The rest chose to fight, even knowing they might die. Bomb had tears streaming down their blue cheeks. Why? The child asked. Why would you risk everything for me? Old mining supervisor O answered. Because that's what humans do, kid. We protect family, and your family now. The next few hours were the busiest in Kepler Station's history. Everyone worked together to prepare defenses. Bomb moved from station to station, touching computers and machines with their small hands. Everywhere Bomb touched, systems improved. The mining lasers became more powerful. The shields grew stronger. Communication systems that had been slow for years suddenly worked perfectly. It's incredible, Dr. Choi said, watching Bomb work. They're not just fixing things, they're teaching our machines to work better together, Bomb explained as they worked. Machines want to help, just like living things. They just need someone to show them how. As Bomb's awakening ceremony time approached, the child became more excited and nervous. The memories are starting to come, they told Hyun-woo. I can feel my ancestors calling to me. Are you ready? Hyun-woo asked. I think so. But it's scary to face alone. You're not alone. I'll be right here. The ceremony took place in the station's garden dome, surrounded by the plants that Bomb had already helped to grow stronger. As the child sat in meditation, their blue skin began to glow brighter. It's happening, Bomb whispered. I can see everything, all the knowledge of my people, flowing into me. Hyun-woo watched in amazement as patterns of light moved under Bomb's skin. The child's eyes opened wide, filled with ancient wisdom. Oh, Bomb breathed. Oh, I understand now. My people were not just gardeners. We were peacekeepers. We had technology that could stop wars, make enemies become friends. What happened to it? Hyun-woo asked. The Dark Hunters destroyed it all, but not the knowledge. It's all here, in my memory now. Bomb looked at Hyun-woo with new determination. We can stop them, but it will be dangerous. Before they could discuss it further, alarms began sounding throughout the station. Taemin's voice came over the speakers. Dark Hunter fleet has arrived, 15 warships just like we expected. They're demanding we surrender Bomb immediately. Commander Park's voice followed. All hands to battle stations. This is not a drill. Through the garden dome's transparent walls, they could see the enemy ships. They were dark and angular, designed to look frightening. Weapons bristled from every surface. Attention, human station, came a harsh alien voice over the communication system. I am War Commander Vex of the Dark Hunter Fleet. You harbor a Lumari disease carrier. Surrender it immediately or face complete destruction. Commander Park activated the reply system. This is Commander Ji-Hai Park of Kepler Station. We do not surrender children to be murdered. If you want Bomb, you'll have to take them by force. So, be it, humans. Your weakness disgusts us. Prepare to be cleansed from this system. The first energy blasts lit up the darkness around Kepler Station. The battle for Bomb's life and for the soul of humanity had begun. Bomb gripped Hyun-woo's hand tightly. I'm scared, the child admitted. Me too, Hyun-woo replied. But we're scared together, and that makes us stronger. As the station shook under enemy fire, neither of them knew that this battle would be remembered across the galaxy as the moment humanity proved that kindness was not weakness, but the greatest strength of all. The station shook as another energy blast hit the outer shields. In the command center, Commander Park watched the tactical display with growing concern. The Dark Hunter ships were testing their defenses, looking for weak spots. Shields holding at 70%, reported Chief Kang, but they're just getting started. Bomb sat at a console, their small hands pressed against the interface. The child's blue skin glowed as they worked to strengthen the station's systems. "The machines are trying their best," Baum said, "but the enemy has much bigger weapons." Dr. Choi monitored Baum's vital signs. "You're pushing yourself too hard. You need to rest." "No time to rest," Baum replied. "My people's memories show me what the Dark Hunters can do. If I don't help, everyone will die because of me." Hyun-woo knelt beside Baum's chair. "Nobody is dying because of you. We chose to protect you. That makes this our fight too." On the communication screen, War Commander Vex appeared. He was a frightening sight, with dark armor and glowing red eyes. Scars covered his face, telling of many battles. "Human Commander," Vex snarled, "your shields cannot hold forever. Surrender the Lumari parasite and we will allow the rest of you to live." "No," Commander Park replied simply. "You would die for one alien child? This proves your species is weak and foolish." "Maybe," Commander Park said, "but we're weak and foolish together, and that means something." Vex's expression grew more angry. "Then you will all burn together. Begin the assault." The Dark Hunter fleet opened fire with their main weapons. The station's shields flashed and sparked under the massive energy bombardment. Throughout Kepler Station, people held on to whatever they could as the structure shook violently. "Shields down to 40%, Chief Kang reported. "We can't take much more of this." In the engineering section, Supervisor O worked with his team to keep the power flowing. "Reroute everything to the shields," he ordered. "Life support to minimum. We need every bit of energy we can get." Pilot Nam ran through the corridors toward the shuttle bay. "I'm taking out my ship," she announced over the communication system. "Maybe I can distract a few of their fighters." "Negative," Commander Park replied. "It's too dangerous." "Everything's dangerous now, Commander. At least let me try to help." Before Commander Park could stop her, Nam launched her small fighter craft into space. She twisted and turned between the enemy ships, her weapons doing little damage but forcing them to split their attention. "Brave pilot," War Commander Vex said, watching the small ship dart around his fleet. "Foolish, but brave. Destroy it." 3. Dark Hunter fighters broke off from the main attack to chase Nam. She led them on a dangerous dance through the asteroid field, using her knowledge of the local space to avoid their weapons. Back on the station, Baum suddenly stood up from the console. "I have to tell you something important," the child said to Hyun-woo. "The memories from my people show me a way to stop the Dark Hunters." "What kind of way?" Dr. Choi asked. "Long ago, my people created something called the Peace Protocol. It was a signal that could reach into the minds of violent beings and show them another way to live." "Why didn't you mention this before?" Commander Park demanded. "Because it requires a great sacrifice," Baum said sadly. "Someone must link their mind to the station's communication array and broadcast the signal. The process would kill them." The command center fell silent. Outside, the battle continued as the Dark Hunters pressed their attack. "I'll do it," Baum said quietly. "It's my responsibility. My people created the protocol to stop wars. I should be the one to use it." "Absolutely not," Hyun-woo said firmly. "You're just a child." "I'm not just a child anymore," Baum replied. "The awakening ceremony gave me all my people's knowledge. I know things now that I never knew before. This is what I was meant to do." "There has to be another way," Dr. Choi insisted. Baum shook their head. "The protocol needs a Lumari mind to work properly. Only I can do it." As they argued, the station's shields failed completely. The next energy blast tore through the outer hull, causing explosive decompression in 3 sections. Emergency alarms wailed as blast doors sealed off the damaged areas. "We're losing structural integrity," Chief Kang reported. "Another hit like that and we're finished." Engineer Lim's voice came over the communication system from the damaged section. "I can repair the breach, but I'll have to go outside. If the shields come back online while I'm out there—" "Don't do it, Lim," Commander Park ordered. "It's too dangerous." Someone has to, Commander. We've got 15 minutes of air left in the damaged sections. Before anyone could stop him, Lim suited up and went outside to repair the hull breach. He worked quickly, welding new plates over the holes while enemy fire exploded around him. Lim, get back inside, Hyun-woo called over the radio. Almost finished, Lim replied. Just need another minute. A Dark Hunter fighter spotted the lone figure working on the station's hull. It dove toward Lim, weapons charging for the kill. Look out! Nam's voice crackled over the radio. Her fighter appeared from behind an asteroid, firing at the enemy ship. Her shots damaged its engines, but the Dark Hunter managed to fire one. Last blast before crashing. The energy beam struck Lim directly. His body went limp, drifting away from the station into the darkness of space. Lim! Hyun-woo shouted, but it was too late. Another good person had died protecting others. In the terrible silence that followed, Bomb spoke up. He died to protect us, just like my parents died to protect me. How many more will die if I don't act? We'll find another way, Hyun-woo insisted. There is no other way, Bomb said gently. But maybe you can help me. The protocol needs a Lumari mind, but it also needs someone strong to help carry the signal. Someone who cares enough to share the burden. Dr. Choi looked up from her scanner. You mean a mental link between human and Lumari? My people never tried it before, Bomb admitted. But the memories suggest it might be possible. We could share the danger instead of one person facing it alone. Hyun-woo looked at this alien child who had asked him to be a father just until tomorrow. That tomorrow had come, but he realized he never wanted to say goodbye. If we do this together, he asked, what happens to us? I don't know, Bomb said honestly. We might both die. We might both live, but we'll face it as family. Another blast shook the station, and more damage reports came in. Nam's fighter was badly damaged, and she was fighting 3 enemy ships at once. Commander, Chief Kang said, urgently. We need to make a decision now. Commander Park looked around at her crew, then at Bomb and Hyun-woo. Do it, she said. Whatever you're going to do it now. Bomb took Hyun-woo's hand. Are you ready, father? For the first time since his daughter died, Hyun-woo smiled. I'm ready, child. Let's save everyone together. The station's main computer core had never seen anything like what Bomb was attempting. The alien child sat cross-legged on the floor, surrounded by cables and interface connections. Their blue skin glowed brighter than ever before as they prepared to link their mind with Kepler Station's systems. Hyun-woo knelt beside Bomb, holding the child's hand. Dr. Choi had attached monitoring devices to both of them, tracking their vital signs as they prepared for the dangerous procedure. The peace protocol is starting to activate, Bomb said, their voice sounding strange and distant. I can feel my ancestors guiding me, but I also feel your strength, Father. It makes me less afraid. We're in this together, Hyun-woo promised. Whatever happens, we face it as family. Around them, the battle for Kepler Station raged on. The Dark Hunters had brought their ships closer, pounding the station with continuous weapons fire. Without shields, every blast caused more damage. Commander Park coordinated the defense from the bridge, but she knew they were losing badly. All sections report damage, Chief Kang announced. We've lost main power in decks 4 through 6. Emergency power won't last much longer. In space, Pilot Nam continued her desperate fight against impossible odds. Her fighter was badly damaged, with one engine dead and weapons running low on power. But she kept flying, drawing enemy fire away from the station. Nam, you need to get back here, Commander Park called over the radio. Can't do that, Commander, Nam replied, her voice strained with effort. They'll follow me back to the station. Better to keep them busy out here. 3 Dark Hunter fighters surrounded Nam's ship, closing in for the kill. She pushed her damaged engines to their limit, trying to escape, but it was no use. The enemy, Ships fired together, and Nam's fighter exploded in a ball of flame. "Nam!" Hyunwoo shouted, watching the explosion on the monitor screen. Another friend was gone, another good person who had died protecting others. In the computer core, bombs. Body began to convulse as the full power of the peace protocol flowed through their small form. "It's too much," the child gasped. "The signal is so strong, I don't know if I can control it." "You're not alone," Hyunwoo said, gripping Bomb's hand tighter. "I'm here with you." He felt a strange, tingling sensation as his mind began to link with Bomb's. Suddenly, he could see through the alien child's senses, feel what they felt. The experience was overwhelming at first, like trying to drink from a fire hose. But gradually, Hyunwoo began to understand. The peace protocol was not just a weapon or a tool. It was the collected wisdom and love of an entire civilization distilled into pure communication. It spoke directly to the heart, showing beings what they could become if they chose cooperation over conflict. Through their linked consciousness, Hyunwoo and Bomb began to broadcast the signal. It flowed through Kepler Station's communication array, growing stronger with each passing moment. War Commander Vex felt it first. He was on the bridge of his flagship, preparing to deliver the killing blow to the human station, when something strange happened. For just a moment, he remembered what it felt like to be young and innocent before war and hatred consumed his life. "What is this?" he snarled, shaking his head to clear the unexpected emotions. The signal grew stronger, reaching every Dark Hunter ship in the fleet. Across the enemy vessels, warriors who had known only violence began to experience something they had almost forgotten: empathy. On the bridge of one destroyer, a junior officer named Kex stared at his weapons console in confusion. "Commander," he said slowly, "why are we attacking these humans? What did they do to deserve death?" His commander struck him across the face. "The humans are weak. They protect the Lumari parasites instead of destroying them." But even as he spoke, the commander felt doubt creeping into his mind. The peace protocol was showing him images of what the Lumari had actually done: healing sick worlds, helping plants grow, bringing life to dead places. How was that evil? In the computer core, Bomb and Hyunwoo were struggling to maintain the signal. The effort was enormous, pushing both of them beyond their limits. "I can feel them fighting it," Bomb whispered. "Some of them want to listen, but their leaders are trying to resist." "Then we make it stronger," Hyunwoo said through gritted teeth. "Whatever it takes." They poured more power into the peace protocol, drawing energy from every system on the station. The lights dimmed as life support systems redirected their power to the communication array. Dr. Choi watched their vital signs with growing alarm. "Their hearts are beating too fast," she announced. "Their brain activity is off the charts. They can't maintain this much longer." "How much more time do you need?" Commander Park asked. "I don't know," Bomb replied, their voice barely a whisper. "The Dark Hunters have been taught to hate for so long. Breaking through that hate is like trying to move a mountain." War Commander Vex was fighting a battle in his own mind. The peace protocol showed him visions of his homeworld before the Dark Hunters took control. He saw children playing in gardens, families living together in peace, artists creating beautiful things instead of weapons. "No!" he roared, smashing his fist against his command console. "These are lies! Weakness! The strong must dominate the weak!" But even as he spoke, more of his warriors were laying down their weapons. The signal was spreading through the fleet like wildfire, awakening consciences that had been sleeping for generations. On Kepler Station, systems were beginning to fail as more power was diverted to the peace protocol. Emergency lighting flickered, and the artificial gravity fluctuated dangerously. "We're losing everything," Chief Kang reported. "If we keep this up much longer, the station will shut down completely. Then we better make it count," Commander Park replied. In the computer core, Bomb suddenly cried out in pain. Blood began to trickle from their nose as the strain of maintaining the signal took its toll. "Bomb!" Hyunwoo called out, but the child was beyond hearing. Their consciousness was fully merged with the peace protocol now, spreading their people's message of love and understanding across the Dark Hunter fleet. Hyunwoo felt Bomb's pain as if it were his own. The alien child was dying, burning out like a candle in a hurricane. But they refused to give up, pouring their very life force into the signal. "I won't let you do this alone," Hyunwoo said. He opened his mind completely, sharing not just his strength, but his memories, his love for his lost daughter, his determination to protect this new child who had asked him to be a father. The combined force of their sacrifice sent a final, overwhelming pulse through the peace protocol. It struck the Dark Hunter fleet like a tsunami of pure compassion, washing away centuries of programmed hatred and violence. On ship after ship, Dark Hunter warriors stopped fighting and began to weep as they remembered what they had lost, what they had destroyed, what they could still become. War Commander Vex fell to his knees on his bridge, his weapons forgotten. For the first time in decades, he saw clearly what he had become and what he had done to others. In the computer core of Kepler Station, Bomb and Hyunwoo collapsed together, their bodies still and silent. The peace protocol had taken everything. They had to give. But across the darkness of space, something beautiful was being born from their sacrifice. Silence filled the space around Kepler Station. The Dark Hunter fleet had stopped firing, their weapons powered down for the first time in years. Across their ships, warriors sat in stunned quiet as the peace protocol continued to work in their minds, showing them new possibilities they had never imagined. In the station's computer core, Dr. Choi worked frantically over the still forms of Bomb and Hyunwoo. Both were unconscious, their vital signs barely detectable. "They're alive," she announced to everyone listening. "But just barely. The neural strain was enormous. I don't know if they'll wake up." Commander Park stood over the two figures, one human and one alien, who had risked everything to save them all. "Get them to medical bay immediately," she ordered. "Do whatever it takes." As the medical team carefully moved Bomb and Hyunwoo, the station's communication system activated. War Commander Vex appeared on the screen, but he looked different now. The anger and hatred were gone from his face, replaced by something that looked almost like shame. "Human Commander," Vex said slowly. What have we done?" "You came here to kill a child," Commander Park replied, "because they were kind and helpful instead of violent." Vex closed his eyes in pain. "The signal, it showed us truth. We had forgotten. We have destroyed so much beauty in the universe, so many innocent lives." He looked directly at the camera. "How can we ever make up for what we have done?" "Start by stopping," Commander Park said simply. "Stop the hunting. Stop the killing. Choose to build instead of destroy." Across the Dark Hunter fleet, similar conversations were taking place. Warriors who had known only war were seeing their actions clearly for the first time in generations. Many were weeping for the lives they had taken, the civilizations they had destroyed. On one destroyer, the junior officer Kex spoke up again. "Commander, what do we do now? How do we live with what we have done?" His commander, still shaken by the visions the peace protocol had shown him, could only shake his head. "I don't know, Kex. I truly don't know." In Kepler Station's medical bay, Dr. Choi monitored her two most important patients. Bomb and Hyunwoo lay side by side, machines keeping track of their slow recovery. "The neural link between them is still active," she explained to Commander Park. "Somehow, they're sharing the healing process just like they shared the sacrifice." On the second day, Hyunwoo's eyes opened first. He looked around the medical bay in confusion, then saw Bomb lying in the bed next to his. "Are they—" he started to ask. "Alive," Dr. Choi assured him. You both are. The question is how much of your minds survive the process. Hyunwoo reached out and took Bom's small hand. The alien child's skin was still blue, but it seemed dimmer than before, as if some inner light had faded. Come on, little one, Hyunwoo whispered. Wake up. We have a new tomorrow to see. Bom's golden eyes opened slowly. For a moment, they seemed empty and confused. Then they focused on Hyunwoo's face, and a small smile appeared. Father? Bom said weakly. I'm here, Hyunwoo replied, squeezing their hand gently. Did it work? Are they going to stop hunting? Before Hyunwoo could answer, Commander Park entered the medical bay with news. See for yourself, she said, helping both patients sit up to look out the window. Outside, the Dark Hunter fleet was still there, but something had changed. Their ships were no longer in attack formation. Instead, they were arranged in a peaceful pattern, and small craft were moving between the vessels and Kepler Station. They want to talk, Commander Park explained. Many of them are asking for asylum. They don't want to return to their homeworld. They want to stay and learn a different way to live. Over the following days, amazing things began to happen. Dark Hunter engineers worked alongside human technicians to repair the damage to Kepler Station. Warriors who had once known only violence learned to grow plants in the hydroponics bays. War Commander Vex himself came aboard the station to meet Bom and Hyunwoo. The fierce alien leader looked smaller somehow, his armor removed and replaced with simple clothes. I owe you an apology that can never be enough, he said to Bom. My people have committed terrible crimes against yours. Bom studied Vex with those large golden eyes. My ancestors' memories show me the pain your people have carried, the child said gently. You were taught that strength meant hurting others, but real strength is choosing to help instead. Vex knelt down to Bom's level. Could you teach us? Could you show my people this real strength you speak of? We can learn together, Bom replied. That's what families do. As news of what happened at Kepler Station spread across the galaxy, something wonderful began. Other species that had been hiding from the Dark Hunters came forward. Worlds that had been isolated by fear started to communicate again. The Lumari were not extinct after all. Small groups of survivors emerged from hidden colonies, drawn by the news that it was finally safe. They came to Kepler Station to meet the child who had saved them all, but Bom was no longer alone. The awakening ceremony had been completed in the most unusual way possible, with a human father sharing the experience. Bom had gained all the knowledge of their people, but they had also gained something no Lumari had ever had before, the stubborn human refusal to give up on someone they loved. Months later, Kepler Station had become the most important place in known space. It was a symbol of what could happen when different species chose to work together instead of fighting. Hyunwoo found Bom in the expanded garden dome, teaching a group of young Dark Hunter children how to help plants grow. The alien child's blue skin glowed softly as they showed the young warriors how to nurture life instead of destroying it. Look, Father, Bom called excitedly. Kex's daughter made this flower bloom just by being gentle with it. Hyunwoo smiled as he watched the former enemies learning to create beauty together. His daughter Da Young would have loved this scene. You did good, little one, he said to Bom. We did good, Bom corrected. Remember? We're family. We do everything together. As the artificial sun set in the garden dome, casting warm light over the peaceful scene, Hyunwoo thought about that first night when a frightened alien child had asked him to be a father just until tomorrow. Tomorrow had come and gone many times since then, but their family bond had grown stronger with each new day. Bom, he said, do you remember what you asked me that first night? The child nodded, their golden eyes bright with happiness. I asked if you could be my dad just until tomorrow. And what would you ask me now? Bom thought for a moment, then smiled the biggest smile Hyunwoo had ever seen. I would ask if you could be my dad for all my tomorrows. Yes, Hyunwoo said, pulling his alien child into a warm hug. For all your tomorrows, and all the tomorrows after that. Outside the garden dome, the stars looked down on Kepler Station with approval. The universe was a little brighter now, a little kinder, because one man had chosen to protect one frightened child, and that choice had changed everything. The tomorrow Bom had feared never came. Instead, it became the first day of a new era, where strength was measured not by the ability to destroy, but by the willingness to love and protect others. And in that new era, family was not about species or biology. It was about choosing to stand together, no matter what challenges tomorrow might bring. The end.